What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be hopping into a brand spanking, and I do mean spanking, new mono red deck. And this mono red deck, it actually has a shift. You know, most of the time whenever a new set comes out, mono red's like, okay, cool, I got like 2 new cards, and I'm still really obnoxious. This time mono red actually got some heavy hitters, some new heavy hittier. I don't know, you know what I'm saying. Fireblade Charger is a 1/1 mana. One mana, 1/1. As long as Fireblade Charger is equipped, it has haste, and whenever it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. This card is so good and so underrated, I think. In those mid to late game matchups, generally you draw out your 1 mana card in mono red and it's a Fervent. You're like, I got a 1/1, cool. You put down Fireblade Charger, either way you're going to be equipping the Embercleave, right? Because your creature just got wiped. Now you have that 2/2, same as Fervent, except it's gaining the first strike and the haste and all that from the Embercleave, so it's gaining all that. Furthermore, whenever it dies, it gets to deal the 2 damage to wherever, so it's essentially 6 points worth of damage instead of just the 4 from Fervent. So come mid to late game, Fireblade Charger is super good. Not to mention the fact that it is a warrior, which is going to be key in turning our deck online. So next up, the other new cards we have is Grotag Bug-Catcher, 2 mana for a 1/2 Goblin Warrior Trample. Reads whenever Grotag Bug-Catcher attacks, it gets +1/+0 for each creature in your party. Now we have the warriors here, we have the rogue here. We do have 2 copies of Stonework Pack Beast, which I found to work pretty good in the deck, because at the end of the day, it's a 2 mana 2/1. We've seen red play, you know, 2 mana 2/1s before. Generally they add a little bit more to the table. This is adding the party aspect, which again gonna help your Grotag, gonna help your Ardent Electromancer, and it's just gonna be another body on the field, right? Next up, speaking of Ardent Electromancer, we have 4 copies of this card because it is so beautiful. So if you have a warrior down, you have a rogue down, or you have your Stonework Pack Beast down, Ardent Electromancer, when it comes into the battlefield, it's going to be your 3rd party member, which means you're going to gain 3 mana, which means if you have 2 Ardent Electromancers, you play Ardent, and you play Ardent, and then you play, you know, a Bolt Hound, or a Bone Crusher, or a Grotag Night-Runner, or a Anax, right? So tons of options here, and it's like a Burning Tree Emissary, but it's in standard, and instead of 2 mana, it's 3 mana. Well, it's really good if you can get the party aspect, right? Speaking of Bolt Hound, 3 mana for this 2/2 haste. Whenever it attacks, all the creatures we control get +1/+0. That's going to be really key since we are trying to build up sort of a board here and swing all in. Now remember, this is mono red as well, so we're not going to be harping on the fact that, oh yeah, well, your opponent's going to board wipe you. Well, yeah, your opponent's going to board wipe you, but that's not going to be until like turn 4, and we're going to assume that you're on the play, because that's how mono red wins. Mono red doesn't win on the draw when your opponent has the 4 mana board wipe right there, right? No. So we're assuming they're not going to be on the play. They're not going to have the board wipe immediately off the bat. So, you know, turn 3, you're getting down 2 Ardents plus any of these creatures, and you already have a little small in. Then whenever you play that Embercleave or that Torbrand, it should just be sending it home, right? So Bolt Hound is going to help to, well, send it home, boost up everything that you have, be a great kicker to the Ardent Electromancer, boost of mana, right? Bone Crusher going to act as some removal, and for 3 mana, getting a 4/3 that also deals damage to your opponent if they target it is really, really valuable. Grotag Night-Runner is actually a card that I'd recommend taking out of this deck, as we did play with it, but it kind of fell short. If it had haste, I would be much, much more inclined to sell you on this card. But Grotag Night-Runner, 3 mana for a 2/3 that does nothing when it enters the battlefield, and ultimately in those mid to late game matchup just does nothing. It's not worth it. I really wanted it to, because it's a rogue, and I wanted another rogue in the deck to sort of balance it out. But honestly, I think the Stonework Pack Beast, if anything, just take out the Grotag Night-Runner and increase this. This is a very good card, and the fact that it turns on whatever aspect of party you don't need, it allows you to get in the mana with Ardent. It allows you to get in the damage with Grotag, right? Anyways, Kazul's Fury, this is one of those lands, so we'll put this over here with the land so everyone's not getting confused with how many cards the deck actually has. So Kazul's Fury, 3 mana for this instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, deal damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target. Obviously, this is really great for late game if you have the Torbrand or the Anax and the Embercleave down, but you don't have a way to actually punch through. You can just fling them over the top and deal damage that way. And of course, it's always a land as well. You don't want to be playing too many of these, as you are playing a mono red deck, and tap lands in an aggro deck is almost suicide to a point, right? Which brings me to my other tap land. We'll only have 3 here with these these two different ones. We have a copy of Valakut Awakening, 3 mana for this instant speed that reads, put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library and then draw that many cards +1. Essentially, this is just a great way to loot you out of a bad situation, right? Then we have Anax, which is a classic mono red. We have Torbrand, and we have Embercleave. So the top end is still very much the same, but it's this bottom end that's shifting up. The Weaponize the Monsters is really nice with the Fireblade. It means whenever you go to sacrifice Fireblade, instead of just dealing 1, now you can deal 3. And of course, it makes it to where mid to late game, your Fervents and all that can get in and deal that final bit of damage that you really, really need, right? Anyways, all that being said and out of the way, we do have 2 copies of Castle Embereth to also help us build up the damage and swing in, because remember, we're playing mono red, we're going aggro, we're trying to collectively take them out by turn 4 or 5, or potentially 6 if you're going a little bit slower, but really, you want to be trying to take them out by turn 4 or 5, right? Anyways, thanks everybody for watching the deck tech breakdown. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the videos that's about to, play the gameplay, whatever. And most importantly, subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more content. Hit that bell icon. It's a great way to support the channel. It's free and it helps you, help me, help you bring more content to you. So it's a back and forth sort of process. Anyways, thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the match. Isaac O'Connor going to be our first foe, and I'll keep this hand because we have a pretty good turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 Arena, depending, of course, depending. I almost wanted to play Grotag here, because if our opponent doesn't get anything down, then it's better to get the Grotag down, so for the next turn you have more damage, but it's neither here nor there. We'll see. It was just a goose, so we definitely should have went with the Grotag there, and that's one thing. We're learning, right? We're learning here in the beginning. I am going to go ahead and go for a Grotag here instead of the... Oh, they're both Grotag. Well, that's a little awkward. I'm going to go for the Bug-Catcher instead of the Night-Runner, right? Does that sound a little bit better? So what did we hit there? Land? We hit a land and we have their Thassa's Intervention. That's not too shabby. And they are Simic. They're Simic ramp. So, that encourages some stuff. We could use our Castle Embereth to tap. Nothing we have has haste, so we should definitely swing all in first. Because now we have access to their Thassa's Intervention, which means we have counter magic, right? Oh, and a Brazen? Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Alright, let's see what they decide to do here. They're going to block 1. Next damage. Boom, boom, bam. They're down to 10. I'm not going to lie, when I use my Brazen Borrower, I want to use my / their Brazen Borrower. What do y'all think? Bounce the goose? But if I don't play the borrower, we won't be able to actually play it. So I should full-blown play borrower. Because that's a 3-1. Bouncing goose is whatever, but playing borrower, that's good. That's good. Oh, they Lofty Denial their own borrower. Well, that's honestly not bad for us. They still have 2 mana. Okay. But I say might be another Lofty Denial, but it's not. It's not. Coast is clear for now. Coast is clear. I think we should go ahead and Bone Crusher the goose. It's stopping damage. It's holding up production. Rewind. What a cunt. So Simic Flash still a thing. Still a thing. We're gonna go for the good old robber. All swing in. Keep mana for Thassa's. I probably should have done this anyways, right? So we could use the Thassa's as counter magic. Ah, well. All is well that ends well, although I guess it could have ended sweller. So we actually have to let that go through. We don't have enough mana for the Thassa's Intervention to counter it. We just play Grotag back down? I think so. The Bug-Catcher, by the way, not the Night-Runner, the Bug-Catcher. The Bug-Catcher. Now they might have another Lofty here for our Grotag. Or, no, just creating food. Well, they do have, what, 6 points of life over there just in their food. It will take 4 mana, but they do have the life to gain. Oh, well, that's really good. 2 robber procs instead of 1. Sign me up. Sign me up. And we know that the Brazen can't block any creature that, you know, isn't flying, so we're all good there too. I wonder what they're trying to figure out here. By the way, I like this little party animation with the but how about no? How about no? GG. GG. Mono Red picking up his first victory, and I gotta say that was kind of easy. All they had was a little defenseless goose blocking the way. Alright, we're gonna have to hop into this match. Indu. We're gonna keep this. This is a very easily keep yes. You know, I really don't mind the tap mana here on turn 3. I mean, it's not, you know, preferred, but I guess I don't mind it too much. So let me make sure that I have all that right. No, I do not. But that's okay. Sometimes you got to do work while you're doing work. You know what I mean? It's just the way the crookie. Just the way the crookie crumbles. So can you just... No, it does cost mana. Okay. So if I put this down and I destroy Conclave Mentor now with Bone Crusher, is that better than getting down a Robber? I think so. I really do think so. You can gain the 2 life, but you will never be the same again. We all know that. Alright, so copy that. Copy. Save. Alrighty. We'll have to go back and do that at some point. We are going to go ahead and throw this down tapped because we know we want the 3 mana. And then, yeah, let's robber it up. Now, even if they block here, if they double block with Beloved Princess, they're losing a lot of their card base, right? Yeah. All right. And remember, with mono red, you just want to overpower them. You just want to smack them around a little bit. Now, we don't like the fact that the Swarm Shambler gets to keep building. We definitely need to figure a way to deal with that. Torbrand does leave an interesting question. I think we go ahead and slam Torbrand, honestly. Now, they could block with Nessie and Hornbeetle. It's not a bad trade, but I think ultimately it'd be better for us, yeah, if they do. So, happy day. Nessie and Hornbeater, they probably will sink the 1 mana so we can start gaining counters here. No, Basri's Lieutenant is just going to come down and put an extra counter on itself. Oh. I think they should have put a counter on the Basri. Okay, so we actually could just block and kill the Swarm Shambler here. I'm going to say no. Bolt Hound means we'd swing in with 3 points of damage there. I wish we had 1 more land so I could throw down a Robber and a Bolt Hound. I'm very tempted to just get down the Anax. Go for like a Bolt Hound come next turn. Yeah. Let's go for an Anax. Are we swinging in? If I swing in with the 2/4, they can block with the 3/3 and the 1/1. I can swing in with Robber for sure, and I should. If they want to trade a Hornbeetle for a Robber, I'm game. The value is certainly there for me. That 2/2 is nowhere near the value of the Hornbeetle. Alright, so what I would really like to see is maybe an Embercleave, right? Throw down a robber and then Embercleave it up. No attacks from our opponents? No, just 2 robbers. I mean, there's something to say for Grotag, but it has to deal the combat damage, right? And that's the hardest part of it all. We'll keep building our board up. This little guy does 3 damage. Y'all think we could pump fake them to where they wouldn't want to block? Do you think they just block the satyr? I think they just block them, so we'll keep everything back. The Swarm Shambler is going to continue to get very, very large. Come on, I need an Embercleave. Or another land. I'll take an Embercleave or a land. An untapped land. Let me be specific on that, right? Embercleave, untapped land. Embercleave, untapped land. Give it to me. Wildwood Scourge. Disgusting. Disgusting. There's the land. Alright, so we go robber. I don't know that we're going to have enough force to punch through here, but we can certainly try. Am I just swinging all in? I think so, because everything I have can kill everything that they have. Right? Minus the 2-1 on the 5-5. Fuck. And the 2-2 on the 5-5. So the 5-5 lives, but everything else would die if it blocks. Will die if it blocks. So 5-5 lives, everything dies. I think that's everything of mine and theirs more than likely. Although Torbrand might make it out alive. We'll see. No, Torbrand's getting blocked by the 5-5. Hey, fine by me. That's a good trade-arino. Trade-a-risky. They might leave the Bosri's Lieutenant, though, and then they have the 2-2s to crack back at me. Let's see. Still taking 7, 5, 12 damage here. No, they're blocking with Bosri's Lieutenant. They're blocking with everything. They're blocking it all. Now, we still have the Robber and the Grotag Night-Runner to get down out of our hands, so. Oh, the Swarm Shambler. Fuck me. The Swarm Shambler does live. I forgot about that. Alright. Well, that's fine. Anax is going to create us a whole lot. Bosri gives them 1. It's a vicious cycle, I tell you. It's a vicious cycle. Alright, so we'll take this 2 damage. Bone Crusher is interesting. I can't just keep swinging at face, can I? Like, that's the wrong move. If I swing in now, we have 8 attackers. They have 3 defenders. 5 get through. It's just 5 1-1s, though. Honestly, these low-to-the-ground counter decks, they may be too fast for mono red nowadays. Things like Swarm Shambler, Conclave Mentor, they make it really difficult. Now, I will say our opponent, they've been top decking for a while, so if I could hit an Embercleave, that'd be kind of nice. Probably shouldn't have swung in with my Torbrand on that last turn, if I'm being completely honest. But, you know, whatever. So I could Bone Crusher their 2-2. They're going to block the robbers, obviously. Still getting in with 8 damage. They're down to 10. I'm definitely taking this thing out. No doubt about it. Throw down good old Bone Crusher. I guess we could have held up mana as if I'd drawn into an Embercleave, but whatever. We're going to get them. Now, they may block the Grotag, in which case, hey, cool beans. Cool freaking beans. Yeah. Although I guess Robber's not going to proc anything at this point, right? They're never going to have cards in hand. They should pretty much always just play the top deck, so. They're down to 10, and I guess we're just going to try to go through them in this manner. Oh, that is terrible for us. So bad. So bad. Now, they have the option of cracking at us. They're not going to. Give me an Embercleave. I've never been more disappointed with mono red in my life. Never been more disappointed in my life. So if they block with all 3 creatures, we have 8 attackers, 5 get through. I mean, we gotta just keep ramming shit and hoping. Again, if they block with the Conclave Mentor at this point and it dies, best possible outcome. If it doesn't die, hey, they don't gain life, so, you know, still not the end of the world. Down to 5 life, they have 3 blockers, we have 6 attackers, which means 3 get through, which means if I am able to... Oh man, but they're almost able to just crack me and kill me, right? But that would require them to swing with 2, and they wouldn't be able to do that, right? So, should be fine. So I block here. All we need is 1 attacker, right? I'll send this damage to face 4. Or do I just not? We swing in with 6 people total. Ardent Electromancer, nice! This is the time I wanted you. Alright, so they're going to let the Fireblade go through. They're going to let a lot of the 1/1s. I should have kept back the Fireblade Charger, right? Let's see. Kept that back. We would have got 1 less. They'd have been on 2. I'd have had 2 defenders. Ah, I fucked up. No. So what we should have done there, lift the Fireblade up. We would have brought them down to 2. They would have swung back at us. We could have blocked the Fireblade and the Ardent Electromancer. Oh, that's so bad. So bad. I'm sorry, everybody. That loss is on me, not on the deck, alright? GG. Damn. I hate when I do that. When I cause us a loss, I feel so terrible.